Hello everyone, welcome back to the CodeIsha Training Center. So today we're gonna learn about the JavaScript as per 30 days software technologies. We are at day 4. Okay, so day 4 we're gonna learn about the JavaScript. Okay, so in this session you will learn about the what is JavaScript and why we use that JavaScript and how it works on the web page. Okay, and how we can write the piece of code or business requirement and how we can execute that code and how we can like debug files where we can see those are all things. Okay, so in this session we will learn these are all things. Okay, so here the today our agenda is in this session we will cover about the introduction to the JavaScript and why it JavaScript is important and how JavaScript works and the basic syntax and the concepts of the JavaScript, and also we're gonna briefly know about the variables, data type, operators, conditions, and also functions, events, and DOM basics. Okay, and we are all covering these are all topics we can write these some piece of code with the real time use cases. Okay, so let's get into the slides. So first, what is a JavaScript, right? So JavaScript is a programming language for the web. Okay, and it used to make web pages interactive, nothing but actions. Okay, and it runs directly in the browser. Okay, and it works along with the HTML and CSS. Okay, so this is a simple about the what is JavaScript, and here the why JavaScript we use. JavaScript we use the add the interactivity, okay, including the buttons, forms, and the animations. Okay, and we can use these in the we can use it the in the front end and the back end. Nothing but Node.js. Okay, and huge demand in the web development also this JavaScript. Okay, and JavaScript is supported by all modern web browsers. Okay, so this is a simple about the why JavaScript and how JavaScript works in the web browser. So browser reads the HTML and the CSS. JavaScript adds the behavior and executes the line by line. Okay, and it can respond to the user actions. Like for example, take one end user is there. Okay, so based on that end user whatever doing, like whether it is click on the buttons, whether it is entering the details, like once enter the details he will click on the save button or cancel button. So based on that buttons it will actions. Okay, so for that we're gonna use this JavaScript to write the piece of code our business requirement. Okay, and here the basic syntax of the JavaScript. So console.log the text, so whatever our need text to display, for that we can use the console.log, nothing but printing the values. So values nothing but whether it is text or any calculations or any other paragraphs or any actions or anything. So we can use for that console.log for the printing the values to like debug the values. Okay, checking the values, so whether it is right or not. Okay, so see here the we have the 3 points is there. So every statement ends with the semicolon. Okay, so for example whatever the you are written the piece of code. Okay, so once that statement is done, like once statement is finished, after the end of the end of the code we need to add the semicolon. Okay, and it is case sensitive language. Okay, and also we can here the uses the floor brackets for the blocks. Okay, whatever our business requirement blocks we need to add the inside the floor brackets. Okay, so this is a basic syntax. Okay, so let's try to piece of code using these basic syntax. Okay, so let's get back into the code editor. So let's open this file and here I'm adding the need to open the text. Okay, let's simple thing. So first of all I need to create the HTML because I need to call that JavaScript. Okay, inside this I am calling that JavaScript file. Okay, so once I call that JavaScript file, then we can run those JavaScript file and we can execute everything and we can check everything whatever we are written, whether it is right or not, that piece of code. Okay, so I am giving this HTML website file. Okay, so here we are done wrong title. So I'm giving the title is day 7. Okay, day 7 JavaScript basics. JavaScript basics. Okay, so inside the body I'm calling that JavaScript file. Okay, so before I'm calling that JavaScript, I need to give the one message also there. So JavaScript use cases. Okay, I'm giving that heading. So once it is done, save this file as the day 7. Okay, dot html. Okay, so once it is done, and click on the all files and save it on our web page. And once it is done, see here the day 7, right? So I am calling that, entering, open that web page, and I'm calling the here that web page. So here the title is there, and here the whatever we are given the heading, right? So see, and next I am writing the piece of code for the JavaScript. Okay, so see here, uh, let's zoom it. Okay, so I am calling the first, I am writing the piece of code, hello world. Okay, so what is the main thing here? When we write the piece of code, we need to, once the end that statement, we need to add the semicolon, right? So I'm adding the semicolon. Okay, and use case, sorry, case sensitive language, right? So for example, see here I'm adding the capital letter. Okay, because here the console is there and here the console same thing, right? But I'm changing here capital letter first one. Okay, so let's save this file as a JavaScript file. Okay, so I'm giving the name file JavaScript. Okay, extension is JS. Okay, and all files, and save this. Okay, so once it is done, and after that I am calling that JavaScript file, because I need to check those whatever our written the piece of code in the JavaScript. I need to check with the help of the web page. So where we can create the web pages, HTML, right? So for that I am calling that JavaScript file inside the HTML file. Okay, so here I am written the script tag. Okay, so inside the I'm calling the writing the attribute. So with that attribute I'm calling that file, so giving the name. Okay, myscript.js. Okay, so let's save it, and here also I'm save this code. Okay, so come back into the web page. Okay, and let's refresh it and open the inspect. See here console is there, right? So we don't have any values is there, and we don't have any text is there, right? Because anyone observe here, so we are done everything right? So here the we are written the HTML. So inside that HTML we are added the header. Okay, and the title also there, and closing tag, and the body. Inside the body we are calling that script, and with the heading also there. So we don't anything like wrong code, right? So here also we are done. So anyone observe here why? Because we cannot showing any values here, because of here we are added the capital letter, because so this JavaScript is the case sensitive. Okay, so once I'm saving this piece of code, let's get back into the our web page. So let's refresh it. See here we have the hello world, right? Because of, see here, hello world. Okay, so why? Because before like adding the capital letter, it won't show, because it is the case sensitive. Okay, so up to here everything okay, right? So let's write another line also. Okay, let's console dot, so day 1 JavaScript. So see, I am writing here like this. Okay, day one JavaScript class. Okay, so again here I'm giving the semicolon and let's save it. So let's refresh it. See here, day one JavaScript class. Why? Because we are getting the like using the we are not any follows in this case sensitive, because it whatever the we are adding these these inside these, so it is not any impact on the case sensitive. Okay, so inside this we're gonna add the any like these symbols or anything. Okay, or numbers or capital letters. Okay, so without we cannot anything problem our piece of code. Okay, let's save this piece of code and let's refresh it. See, day one and whatever we are added the text characters, those are all things we can see here the console, right? So up to here everything okay, right? So let's back into the slides and coming to the next one. So variables. So variables, we can use the storing the data. Okay, so we have the three types variables: let, constant, and var. Okay, so let is changeable the values. Okay, whatever we are added the values we can change whenever we need. Okay, and coming to the constant. Okay, so here for when we use these constant variable we cannot change the values inside that. Okay, and were also older method. Okay, so now every developer and must and should and prefer the let variable. Okay, and when the constant values we need to use the constant. Okay, so let's try to use these variables in the piece of code, JavaScript piece of code. Okay, so come back into the let. I'm giving the name equal to test developer. Okay, test developer, test developer. Let's save it. So now we are added the let variable and we are giving the reference variable name and we are giving the values, right? So can we see these values on the console? So let's check. So let's open our tab and come back into the web page and let's refresh it. So can we see any values in the console tab? We don't have, right? Because of we don't added the print values. Okay, so for that we use the console.log. Okay, so inside that I'm calling the variable name and let's finish with the semicolon. Let's save this piece of code and let's refresh it. See, now we can see the test developer variable name, variable value, right? Because of we are calling this sorry, we are print the for the print the values we are calling with help of the console.log. Okay, so now I'm giving the uh, um let's try to use the constant variable. I'm giving the age. Okay, here I'm giving the like 20, sorry, 29. Okay, and save this. And here I'm calling the console dot. Okay, and the age also finish with the semicolon and let's refresh it. See, here the 29 values is there because so we are written the sorry, we are declared the variable with the consent and we are given the name and we are calling the print we are calling the console.log for the print the values. Okay, so now let's see, I am change the values age equal to. Okay, I am changing the value 35. Okay, so once it is done I am calling again console.log. Okay, so inside that I am calling the variable and save this one. So let's back into the our web page and let's refresh it. So can we see any values here? We don't have any, right? So because anyone observe? So let's recheck, we are done same thing, right? Whatever we are done here we are also same thing we are going, right? Yes. So let's see, I'm changing the values here var from the constant variable to var variable. Okay, let's save this one and let's come back into our web page and the let's refresh this page. See, now we can see 29 and 35. Anyone observe here why we now we can see the values both of them? Because when we use the constant, we only use the one value particular, whatever we have that variable, constant variable, right? So for that, when we need to change any values, or we need to change any values for that variable, that time we need to use the let or were. Okay, so when particularly when we need that variable uh, constant value, that time we need to use the constant variable. Okay, so up to here everything okay, right? So we are done let and the were and the constant also, right? So up to everything okay, right? So let's back onto the our slides and open the. So now we're gonna learn about the data types. Okay, so data types, we have the string and the number and the date and the boolean and the object and the array. Okay, so here the, so when we use a string data type for the characters like numbers or alphabets. Okay, so and coming to the number, we use the number data type, and the date we use the date data type, and booleans true or false. Object, inside the object we're gonna give the variable name and the values. Okay, and the array is also there. Okay, so let's see how we can check the data types in the whatever we are declared the variables. Okay, so let's come back into the piece of code. Okay, so I need to check. Okay, I need to check age data type. Okay, so now I'm going with the console dot, so print the dot data type value. Okay, and here I'm going with the type of age. Okay, let's save it and let's refresh it. We don't have any values is there, so anything happen. So okay, type of the values, but we are given here the type of. But it getting anything something. Mm-mm. Type of the value we are done like this, right? But it is not getting. Let's take not variable, so let's take the values like 35. Let's save this one and refresh it. Same thing. Okay, leave it. So I think we will cover next class. Okay, so close this one, and here the data types, right? And let's see another one, and here the operators and conditions. Okay, so arithmetic used for the plus, minus, or multiplication or divisions. Okay, and comparisons. Okay, and also logicals, we can use the inside the piece of code. Here the basic whatever the our conditions and operators is there. So let's try to write this piece of code, and also we can write. So here I am giving the, okay, so like I'm declaring the one variable let, okay, let marks equal to, I'm giving the 40, okay, here the value. So here I am writing the condition, okay. So must and should that student marks more than 35, okay. So more than 35, whoever got that marks, that student will shows the message is pass, okay. Let's see, I'm writing this, and the I'm giving the text, okay, pass. So once it is done, I need to showcase this one once that condition is satisfied, or else showcase that message is console.log, okay, console.log. I need to showcase the fail, okay. So let's save this piece of code and run the that code in the web page, okay. So let's refresh this one. I think here the anything changes is there, everything going well, but okay, we need to remove this code. So now let's save this one. Let's check now. Yes, now it is works, okay. So here the pass is there, okay. And let's see data type. What is the data type dot check? So console dot, okay, inside that type of, okay, so the type of I need to call that age, okay, and semicolon. Let's see whether it is works or not. Yes, it is works number, right? So before we are added that without variable, right, we are added the only reference names. For that it won't run that piece of code after that whatever we have, okay. And see here, and also we need to know about the this data type of the, I need to know about the name data type also, okay. So let's, I'm adding that and refresh it and see. Let's refresh here the string, okay. So now it is working, right. And as of now we are knowing about the marks, right. So using the marks, so now we are knowing about the operators and comparisons, right, conditions, okay. So now I'm decided, I'm declared the variable, okay, with help of the let, okay. And I'm adding the values is 40, okay. So here the my condition is, once the marks values is more than 35, so I need to showcase the pass message, okay. So otherwise showcase the fail, okay. So let's, I'm changing the values here from 40 to, I'm adding the 31, okay. So let's save this one and come back into the web page, and let's see whether it is changed or not, okay, from this place, okay. So let's refresh it. So see here, fail, because that marks values is 31. So here the our condition is not met, right. So for that it showcase the these values, okay. So let's see, I am adding the here one more condition, okay. So less than 35, okay, less than whatever the 35 is there, okay. And here I'm adding the one more condition, else if, okay, else if age equal to, sorry, marks, right, marks more than equal to 60, okay. That time I need to give the values pass, pass, and congrats avg. Okay, so else console.log failure. Okay, so let's see now. So when the values is below 35, okay, that time we need to showcase the values pass. Okay, and else the, so here again one more condition I'm adding the and also. Okay, here I'm adding the marks. Okay, more than equal to 35, sorry, more than equal to 0 I'm adding. Okay, let's see, refresh it. So now it is pass because 31 value is more than the 0, right? Okay, so let's, I'm changing the 1 here and save it, and let's refresh it now. So now also pass. So now I'm adding here 0. Okay, so let's see what the condition is come. Is it failure or is it the else conditions? Okay, so let's refresh it. See, failure because of our conditions are not met here, this line of code and this line of code. So it makes the this condition, for that it showcases the failure. Okay, so now I'm here adding the more than 60, right? So I'm adding the 61. Okay, so let's save this one and let's back into our web page and let's refresh it. See, pass and congrats avg. So for because our condition is met at this line piece of code, right? For that it showcases the this message. Okay, so up to here everything okay, right? Okay, so let's back into our slides and present. So now we need to know about the functions. So functions is reusable block of the code and it improves the readability. Okay, so here the functions and the grid name, it comes the return value whatever we are written the piece of code. Okay, inside the that block. Okay, and events, user interactions, nothing but when that user is click or when that user mouse on the hover. Okay, and the key press. Okay, so for that time we need to use this type of the event for interactions that click or hover or key presses. Okay, so here the simple functions and the events. Okay, and DOM, document object model. Okay, and it represents the HTML as objects. Okay, and JavaScript can change the content, change the styles, and add or remove the elements with the help of the these DOM. Okay, so up to everything okay, right? And real world syntax, these JavaScript use the form validations and the dynamic websites, and the games purpose we can use these ones JavaScript. And as of now we have the web apps like the Gmail or Netflix or any other that that applications are used by the JavaScript. Okay, so up to here everything okay, right? And conclusion, so JavaScript makes websites interactive and easy to start and the powerful to master. Okay, and essential for the modern developers. Okay, so this is the simple about the JavaScript. So thank you everyone, thank you for watching this video. So if you find this helpful, this video, so please don't forget to subscribe and like and share it with your friends whoever the enthusiastic to learn the software technologies. Okay, so thank you everyone, thank you.